Hello friends, welcome to Java Learners channel. In this video, I am going to explain Hello World Spring Boot application. I have already created one sample application to save the time, but I will show you steps how to create the Spring Boot application. The basic structure in Maven, how to create it, I will explain now, and then I will continue to the code which I have already created. Okay, go to File, New, Other, and select Maven project. Okay, choose Maven project, click next, and check this create a simple project. Next, and group ID is nothing but package. You can say com.boot or something else. Okay, artifact means the name with which we are going to generate the var or jar. Okay, I will give hello world, and I'm going to explain with the JSP as the UI. So I'm choosing var here as a package and click finish. Okay. So this is how I have created the Maven project. Now I will show the code which I have already created for you. Okay. And the first thing that I have done is going to the pom.xml. Okay. Add the Spring Boot starter parent. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is adding this the parent in the pom.xml. Okay, what it does, okay, it specifies the versions of the jars that needs to be included. Okay, after including this parent, since we are developing the web application, we have to mention the dependencies. See, in normal applications without Spring Boot, we have to explicitly define all the jars that are required for Spring, right? Suppose if you are working on the Spring Core application, you require 5 files, and if you are using AOP, you might require some more jars, and if you are developing the web application, you need to add some more jars. So we have to define all those dependencies manually in maven.xml. So what Spring Boot has done for us, it has created starters. Okay, starter is nothing but a group of dependencies clubbed under one starter. Okay, so whenever you need to define the web, create the web application, you need not individually add all the dependencies one by one. Okay, instead of that, we are going to just define the Spring Boot starter web. Okay, if you define this one dependency, okay, this is called starter concept in Spring. So starter is nothing but a group of dependencies that are going to be included when you add this in the dependency section. Okay, if you see the Maven dependencies here, just by adding this, I have received so many required dependencies, right? So you have got the Spring jars, right? Spring web related, because this is a web application, but to make the web application work, we need Spring core jars as well, right? So the Spring core 5 and all these jars has been added simply by declaring this one dependency. Okay, but you might have got one question: we have not mentioned Spring version anywhere in this pom.xml, right? But how does it know which Spring version it has to use? That is the advantage of using this parent. So it understands the Spring version from this Spring Boot starter parent. Okay, so that is the main thing. If you change this version, and the dependencies will go in a different version. Okay, so one of the feature of this parent is it is going to let us know which version of Spring jars we need to download when we have declared this Spring Boot starter web. That is why we haven't explicitly mentioned anywhere the version. So it has inherited the Spring Jars version from the parent. Okay. So the first thing, adding the parent, and then if you are developing the web application, you need to add the starter web, Spring Boot starter web. So starter is nothing but a group of dependencies. If you just add this dependency, all the required web jars for the web application development and the Spring Core jars will be downloaded. So since I have already told you that we are going to use the JSP as the UI part. Okay, I am going to show you a very simple example which is not complex. It is just to understand the Spring Boot Hello World application. Okay, you have to add this dependency to support the JSP in Spring Boot. If you don't add this Tomcat embed Jasper, it doesn't work. Okay, so this is especially for supporting the JSP technology in Spring Boot. Okay, so that's it. See how easy it is to develop a Spring Boot application. Okay, just parent, adding the parent, and then Spring Boot starter web, and to support the JSP we have added one more dependency. Three dependencies we have declared here. Okay, now let us go to the code and see how to develop the Hello World application. Okay, I have created a sample Hello World application. So if you go here to make the application, so it is nothing but a simple public static void main method. But if you observe here, we have to annotate the application with @Spring Boot application to make the application as Spring Boot. Okay, what does it do? This Spring Boot application annotation. Okay, I will explain in a few minutes, but we will go through the rest of the code which we have written. Okay, so what we have to do here, write the add the annotation, write a class, mark with the annotation called @Spring Boot application. Okay, so what is the main advantage of the Spring Boot application? You need not deploy into Tomcat. The Spring Boot application you can run as standalone Java application. Okay, right click and run as Java application, and the Spring Boot application works. How does it work? Because it comes with embedded Tomcat. So you need not explicitly deploy this application into Tomcat or any server. Whenever you right click on the application and say run as Java application, it runs in the embedded Tomcat. Okay, by default. Okay, so hope it is clear. @Spring Boot application, just I have written one class and I have mentioned annotated with @Spring Boot application. Okay, to start this application you have to pass this class name for Spring application dot run method. Okay, you have to mention this. Now I have written a simple hello world controller to demonstrate this. Okay, I have written a hello world controller. Okay, and I have annotated this with @controller to mark this class as controller, and I have written a simple function, I mean method. It has get mapping value is equal to hello. So whenever you make a request from the browser using this request URL, this will be mapped to this method. I think you already know this using the we use this in the Spring MVC application. Nothing new here. Okay, so whenever you get a request with the /hello, and this will be called, and I am returning the simple string. Okay, and generally in Spring MVC application we write the view resolver, right? So in Spring Boot application you need not write the view resolver for resolving these simple JSP pages. Okay, you have to add application properties file and define where our JSP files are there. So if you observe here, I have created WebINF folder, and inside JSP folder, and I have the my hello.jsp. Okay, you have to mention what is the prefix and what is the suffix. So what does it mean? Whenever you return a string called hello, okay, this prefix, the prefix slash webin of JSP will be added and suffix will be added at the end to find out the JSP page to which we need to redirect the request, right? So whenever you return hello from the say hello method, hello.jsp will be called, right? So so instead of writing separate view resolvers, just you need to mention that in application.properties. Spring Boot understands this. Okay, so how to run this application? Okay, we have covered everything, right? We have written a simple application which is annotated with the @spring boot application. We have written the controller with @controller and get mapping, and the application properties is going to mention what is the prefix and suffix. This is going to help to which JSP the control has to flow. Okay, and I have already covered the three dependencies that we need to add simple for this simple hello world example. And this Spring Boot Maven plugin is to generate the jar jar file or war file based on our packaging. I have specified packaging as, if you see here, the packaging is war. So whenever you package this application, it will be generated as war file. Okay. So now we go to Spring Boot main, right click. See, generally we have to deploy this application, we have to create the war file, and we have to deploy into the Tomcat. But in Spring Boot, just right click this main class as run as Java application. That's it. Your application will be automatically deployed in embedded Tomcat. You need not install the Tomcat also. Simple right click and run as Java application, and this application is deployed in embedded Tomcat. Now let us go to, can you see, localhost, the default port is on 8080, and I have given the mapping as /hello. Okay, so we have got the output as hello world Java learners channel. It is very simple, friends, to develop Spring Boot application. If you don't use Spring Boot application, we have to do many things. We have to define the view resolver, we have to write the dispatcher servlet, we have to write XML to define the beans, and all these will be very complicated. So with the help of Spring Boot, we can write a simple application within 5 minutes, right? Hope everything is clear. Now I will show you how to run this as a jar file. Okay, now I have shown you from editor, right? Now I am going to generate the war file, and I'm going to run as a executable jar. Okay, how to create the executable file? Okay, right click on it, right click on the project, run as. Okay, select Maven build, and in goal give package, run. Okay, I am stopping the server. Now the war file, since we have given war as package in pom.xml, we have given war as a packaging, right? So now war file will be generated. Where is it going to be generated? It is going to be generated under a target section here. Okay, run as Maven build. I have stopped by mistake, so I have resumed it again. So if you see, it has created war file. in target. Okay, let us take this. I'm copying this here. See, I'm not using any Tomcat to run this application. Now I'm going to run this web application simple with a simple Java command. Now I will show you how to do that. Okay, I have set the path for Java. If you see, I have set the path of JDK up to bin. Okay, now I have copied this here, the war file here. Okay, now simple with Java command, Java -jar, and provide the file name. You don't need to deploy into Tomcat server. When you run using this Java command, the embedded Tomcat is going to be used as a server. And 1 second, let me check there. I haven't given var. I have to give the extension. I have forgotten that. Let us start this. Okay, the embedded server, the embedded Tomcat has started. Okay, okay, the default port on which this application is running is 8080, and I have given the hello. That's it. So it is very easy to create the Spring Boot application. Thank you, friends. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like my video, please share with your friends, and I am going to create some more videos like data source, using data source to connect it to the database and all those things in future. Thank you.